Hello, in this video today I will show you how to set up SimHub for 6DOF motion systems, especially for the MK3. First you go to the simhub-.com website and download the SimHub version. And if the download is ready, you install it and open the zip archive and execute the installer. I remove some components I don't need for now and install the system. Okay, now it's ready. And launch SimHub is checked and finish, and so SimHub starts right now. Okay, now let's go over to do the configuration for the Motion for Sim controller and the MK3 rig. This is the screen when the software starts, and because I already had installed this version here on this PC, there is motion already activated. Otherwise you have a button to activate the motion and then you come to this screen. So now let's use this part and then let's test it. Okay, and the motion screen appears. So we have now here in the left upper part of the screen the platform configuration, and so you start. Follow this guide. First rig, motion controllers and some settings. I will also provide a settings file you can import the dimensions for the rig, so you have a little bit easier, but it's not that much. So, okay, before you go on, you have to start up the dashboard app and open the configuration page. Here are the geometry values from the MK3 rig. So you can copy them to the SimHub. Okay, first then edit the settings of the rig, and here is the button for the dimensions. Click it and you get this huge page with lots of numbers everywhere and this beautiful 3D view of the rotary rig. Okay, it's not a problem. I will show you how this all will work. Okay, these are standard numbers which are entered here, and we now copy the values from the MK3. For L1 dimension, this is the larger dimension of the upper rig. This is 570 millimeters, and the smaller part, if you check, is 168 millimeters for the MK3. L3 and L4 are equal, that's the distance between the motors, and in the dashboard it's L1 and L1 and L2 dimensions, and these are 465 millimeters. And you can see that the geometry is updating all the time. And finally the rod length, it's 059 millimeters. Okay, now let's go over to the next section. The crank arm length is 180 millimeters, and the crank middle angel we use 28, and the total range you can go to 90 degrees if you like, or 85 is also a good value. So next over, center of rotation. Center of rotation depends on your head position or seat position, and I don't know how it's integrated in the motion if the center is then moved to this position. So you can try what you like. Set is the seat position or the head position. For my seat this will be 150 millimeters. The X is left or right. From the middle of the seat mostly this keeps 0, and on the MK3 the seat is a little bit backwards, so we will use minus 150 millimeters for this position. So for motion compensation I think this are extra values, so here also set up the position. Next we come to the next part of the geometry of the platform. So, and this is a little bit tricky because the angles here have to be entered are a little bit different from the angles the dashboard uses, because the starting point of the calculation or the coordinate system does a little bit differ, but it's quite easy because you have this beautiful 3D view, and so you can set up this here, remove the label dimensions, and we are starting in the front right corner, and the crank arm here have to be 90 degrees to the axis from the center of the polygon. Yes, and in this case we start with an angle of, I will enter 60 degrees, and so it fits optically to the rig. So, but I already set up the dimensions, and I will enter now 60 degrees for the first, 0 for the second, 300 next one, then 240, it's always 60 degrees less, 180 and 120. Okay, the tilt will be kept at 0 degree, and the rotation direction comes from the actuator page. Yes, you can copy them, and so we have the first is counterclockwise, correct, and then every motor changes direction. So this original setup here is okay. So now we already have this and can finish this section with OK. Yes, confirm we want the settings, and this should now be ready. Our next step is we want to set up the motion controller, and here's also the guide there, global configuration warnings, because we have no profile ready configured. So we now click add a controller. Here comes a list, please choose the motion for Sim Servo motion controller and click OK. And now we have to select the serial COM port. There are two controllers connected, one to the dashboard and one for the SimHub. Choose your controller, it will be shown up like this, or you can press, if the controller is not present, the identify button, and you can unplug and reconnect it, and it will appear here. I cancel this because I've already selected this. So, and then we have to edit the access assignments. Okay, that's not a problem. So here you have to set up the axis, the actuators, and it's clockwise. First actuator front right, middle right, rear left, rear middle left, and front left. Okay, these could be a belt if you like, actually not installed, or channel 8 done for wind. So okay, the actuator direction should be correct. We have set up the direction for rotation in the rig geometry. If you like, you can identify an axis. For this you have to bring your rig into online position. My rig is powered and in POC position. I will start it again, and it's homing now, and then bring it to the online position. It moves up to standby, and now you can click the identify button if you like. You get a warning that's now moving, and click that, and you see the rig is online. SimHub sends some motion, and actuator number 3 is moving. That's not correct. Oh yeah, it's correct, because I have started number 3. So I stop it, and so you can test if the actuators are correctly assigned. So here are some more test options, right, up, forward, and so on, and here you can also limit the range of the actuators, and this could be 100% not a problem. And finally you can test all the platform axes. Click the button here, warning comes, the rig should be online, and now you have sliders for all the actuators and can move them, and the rig will move on that axis. Okay, so we have set up the actuators, and now we can test the motion cueing of the hex pod. We go back now to main menu, and we get still a warning. Belt tensioner is not set up, but we don't need it. So there are some more settings down here. This works quite good for SimHub. You can let all these settings enabled. With some security functions and controller power and inactivity. And so here settings import and export, so you can save the settings or upload the MK3 profile I will share. And yes, finally we go back to the main menu, and now to test the motion platform we are clicking enable motion, and the rig is connected. It waits a few seconds and then to test the platform now, finally we enter manual control and you come to this page, and here you have the degrees of freedom, roll, pitch, heave and surge, and here you can see the status of the controller. It's connected. The handheld shows also online, so controller gets data, and now you can move the slider, and it's a little bit delayed, so you do not have to fear anything. The rig moves slowly up and down when I move the slider, or we use the yaw axis. Okay, that's it. Now it's the rig ready configured, and one option I will tell you is the speed limiter. Okay, I forgot one setting I will show you. First disable motion, then under platform configuration select your rig, and then go to settings of the hexapod. And now you have some security settings: overflow handling, dampening a range of the actuator. For start, go to 20% progressive, and because we have a rotary and the last part of the actuator gives not much range, you can have positive feedback of the movement. And then down here there are speed limiting values. For the beginning you may set them a little bit down. Yes, 4 degrees per second is a little slow, but maybe you start with 20 and later you can go up to 30 when you're safe with your profiles. And also with the speed, the MK3 is around maximum theoretically 600 millimeters per second, so 500 is a good value to start, or maybe you reduce to 450. Okay, save these settings, and then you're ready for motion. Enable the motion, and now you have to set up your profile for your game. Thank you for watching.